What's up, guys? Mike, Meller Woodworks. Ta-da! Anyways, we are on site once again in Locust Grove, and we are starting roof metal. What we've got going on over here, we've laid out our first stack of panels for our screw lines. Kale's going through with his punch, and he's putting just a little dimple in our metal, and that's going to translate. We can usually get about 5 sheets deep on our marks. That way we don't have to sit here and lay out every single panel over and over and over. We can grab these, take them up to the roof. These panels are 26 foot 3.5 inches long. By far the largest panels that I've personally worked with. And we pulled this one off yesterday, and it took all 3 of us just to move it without it wrinkling or anything funny like that. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a process getting them from here onto the scissor lift, onto the roof, and in place. So stay tuned, see how we do today. It's gonna be a scorcher today. We're looking at 100+ degrees with high humidity. So got outfitted with true work gear, got the B1 Sun hoodie. We're ready to battle the sun. All right, check this out, guys. This is gonna be our starter panel on the far back edge. So if you walk down this way with me, you can see typically we do our layout in each one of these bays. This one though, I don't have any layout. The reason for that is because we have a rake trim that's gonna come over and cap this edge of the roof over to the gable fascia. So I don't wanna mark these out and have extra holes that aren't necessary. I'm gonna wait until we get our rake trim on. I'll lay that out and I'll punch those holes. That way I don't have extra holes that could potentially cause a failure later on. We're doing a 24 on center layout from edge of panel. So this is our leading edge or our overhang edge. I've got our mark back for our overhang so that we still hit back from the edge of fascia. And then I'm just going 24 all the way down to the end of the panel. Like I said before, it's a 26 foot 3.5 or so panel. So I'm going all the way down to 24, and then from the top side, I'm coming down 2 inches to secure our top, and then our ridge cap will go over that top edge as well. Okay, so you might be wondering, why am I drilling these holes? Didn't I just talk about using a punch and a hammer? Yes, I did. If you were listening, you would be correct. The reason we're drilling these holes is because this one particular panel is set out here on the sawhorses. This one is in a stack. If I go through, especially out on this edge right here with this punch and try to hammer it, it's just gonna bounce all over the place. So it's more efficient for us to run a pilot bit on our screw guns here and just drill these holes out real quick. And then we already have that stack laid out and punched, and we can just, as we work our way down, we'll have those dimples in the metal when we get about 4 or 5 sheets down, maybe 6 if we're lucky. And then we can just punch those same marks instead of having to pull the tape out and mark it all again. It's already there. If you've made it this far into the video, you might be asking yourself, hey Mike, why don't you just drill those holes also instead of running through with the punch? That's a good question, my friend. The reason I personally don't like to do that is because you can see when you drill, it makes all these little metal shavings, and those get trapped down in between underneath the panel onto the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one as far down as you want to go with it. And because the drill bits that we're using are generally pretty small, you have a higher chance of the drill bit breaking and walking around as you're working your way through multiple layers of panels. That's my experience with it. If you have another experience, why don't you leave us a comment and tell us what you think.
just quite not heavy enough. I already know how much I weigh. I don't weigh myself in forever.
Kick those wheel chocks in a little tighter so I can get closer.
You got that?
Nope.
Use your hammer.
Here, hold on. Okay, let's bring it over here.
Okay.
Oh, it's so funny looking.
Going up. Okay. And going forward. Yes. Grab the side of it. Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
You swing up that, or are we gonna start down there?
Go up over that way.
Oh, we're starting on that side?
Yep.
How are we gonna set that side to?
Well, yeah, we'll just set it to the fascia and then we'll let her measure and we'll, if we need to tweak it here and there. Yeah. Dude.
What, dude?
Bro.
Bro.
Bro. You know what?
Mike says he thinks he deserves a raise now.
Save the money, buy more equipment.
Problem having too much tools, huh?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
in the trailer somewhere.
Probably. That's the problem. I got tools in the trailer, I got tools in the shed, I got tools in the garage. I got tools in this trailer, I got tools in my truck.
You got tools 5 different places.
I got tools everywhere. I'm a man with many tools. And somehow I still never have enough.
For real.
So as you can see, we're setting our roof metal right now. Out on our leading edge here, we want to make sure our reveal is straight and consistent all the way down. We do a similar thing when we cut all of our tails on our trusses to put our sub fascia framing on. And this is just another double check, extra assurance to make sure our finish reveal on the actual finished material is as laser straight as we can get it. So what I like to do, a lot of people, they'll line their tails, cut them all off, get everything straightened out, and then they'll just measure each panel off of the fascia as they set. Perfectly fine, as long as you're straight, as long as your fascia is super straight, that's fine. I like to run a string line so that we can put our panel in and adjust it up or down right exactly where we need it to till it's just barely kissing that string line, and it keeps us string line straight all the way down. Counting on you not to kill me. That's a lovely noise.
What's up, everybody? I'm Adam with Meller Woodworks, and we are going to show you how we are doing soffit. So, first of all, this is our run. This is what we've been working on. We throw the ag panel on our soffit. On this particular build, we don't do it on all builds, but on this particular build, we're doing ag panel all the way on our soffit, all the way down. And how we're doing this is almost production assembly style. We're nailing the outer edge and screwing the inside edge next to the wall, because my nailer, my Milwaukee coil roofing nailer, is too big to get all the way up against the wall because of that 412 angled pitch. So we're screwing against the wall, we're nailing on the outside. That's keeping us efficient. Let's go to the production table and see how we're doing this. All right, so I got Imogen over here at the production table, which is in the shade, lucky you. And what she's doing is putting holes. She's pre-punching holes for me, so that way my screws are real easy to get in there. So she's just taking a regular old punch, a regular old hammer, and then just popping a few holes like this all the way down this sucker. And what she's doing is one on top of the other. So now the bottom ones here have the hole punch, so she'll take this panel, put it on top of this panel, and then punch it again. So that way we always have our template, we don't get our tape measure out. So now I'll take this one all the way back to the back, but I'm gonna have to take a pit stop to get more screws because I'm out. Ooh, metal's warm in the sun. It's a long walk from the production table all the way back here. I'm getting my steps in today for sure. My calves are gonna be the size of Thor's. That was scary, but we got this. Okay, take your metal, pop it up here. So all my pre-punched holes are against the wall. Make sure everything's lined up. Here we go. All right, hold it with the lefty. Get the roofing nailer. Pop, 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 pop. And then 4 screws up against the wall. I want to get a wee bit higher and hope that I don't die. So we're pre-punching the holes because it's 10 million times easier to get a screw through it. But also, if you look down the line, they're all in a perfect row. And with the nails being here on the outside, we're not worried about that because our fascia piece is gonna come down and bend back up to cover this right here. So all these nail holes will be covered. You won't see them because we'll have a detail that comes back over this. So that's why I'm doing a combination of nails and screws. Otherwise, I'd just be nailing it. But, oh gosh, it's the La Brea tar pits over there. I would nail the whole thing, but I can't get my nailer all the way against the wall. So that's a no-go. And that's what we're doing. So it's a rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. We're in, well, Emma's in production mode, I'm in install mode. But this is how we're doing it on our eave side. The gables on our pitch, it's gonna be nice. They're not as big. I think they're only like 10, 11 inches versus these are 25 1/4. So it'll be a little bit easier on the gable ends. But that is how we're throwing up the soffit panels on this particular build. Every single time is a little bit different. But this one, that's how we came up with to make it the simplest and most efficient for us. It's different every single time because every build is different. Every client, we're not building production homes, we're building custom homes. So every client has something different that they want. So it really just depends on what the client is asking for, what's in the budget, and how we're putting it together. But as long as we look at the 4 control layers of building science, which is air, water, thermal, and vapor, and we account for all those in our control layers, we're solid. Doesn't matter how we put it together. If you don't have a nibbler, if you don't have the Milwaukee nibbler, get it. This tool is amazing, and it does such good clean cuts too. So if you look at this cut here now, look at that. No sharp edges, no frays or anything. Nice clean cut. That's a really good tool. The Milwaukee nibbler, powered by an M12 battery. To perfection, my guy. I hate heights. Heights are the worst. Hey Milwaukee, thanks for making this gun light. The roofing nailer, y'all are awesome.
All right guys, that's gonna wrap up our video series for this week. As you can see, we've got roofing going on. We're gonna continue to get some more stuff done out here. You guys stay tuned, check out the rest of the episodes on this entire series. I'm talking from the foundation all the way to where I'm standing right now. Every video, give it a like, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're also partnering with YouTube now, so there's another option where you can get like member access kind of. Check that out, see if that's something you're interested in. We can do some member exclusive stuff. There's some extra content that goes into some of that stuff. If you're interested in it, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe on all the platforms. Really appreciate it. Thanks again.